Easy.
Welcome to My Adventure to Fit episode something. I think 4, but I might put a different episode in between 3 and 4. So this
we
could
don't
be
need
5.
To say.
Yeah.
Just say welcome.
We'll say episode.
Welcome.
We'll say episode 3 through 7.
Okay, so today we are all drinking chocolate greens coffee. I think we all made them a little bit differently.
Did we?
Yeah, I just made mine with only coconut milk. And then what did you do with yours?
I just made it with coffee and chocolate.
What is
greens.
mine made with?
Yours is made with coconut milk and heavy cream.
Wow.
Do you like it?
I do. Let me try the full coconut milk.
It just doesn't have the creamy.
Oh yeah, mine has heavy cream. Okay, let's spill it on the
But
carpet.
yours doesn't have coconut milk, I think.
That's right. I go back to mine every time. I don't really like the coconut milk as much.
I prefer the cream.
Yeah. This is my second one, so I just wanted to.
They call it creme
You
brulee.
wanted to have less cream? Well, also I ate Jonathan's lunch today.
Mm-hmm.
I made those. Okay.
So I'm going fasted basically, except chocolate greens coffee and motivation.
You had chocolate greens coffee this morning with cream.
Brought to you by Chocolate Greens Coffee this morning. Everyone drink coffee with your chocolate greens.
Boop.
Amen.
Amen.
So I made the Starbucks dupes.
Dupes.
Starbucks dupe egg bites because
Dupe? What is dupe?
like a duplicate
Oh. Okay.
Ooh.
because anyways, I've been kind of
20 grams of sugar.
looking into what I used
that real?
to eat.
Yes.
No, I don't know.
Egg
about
bites
40.
have 20 grams of sugar?
It was something like that. I thought it was
No.
20 or 22.
It was 18 grams of carbohydrates.
Sick.
In an egg bite?
Yeah, because
Eggs and bacon.
Like the third ingredient is maltodextrin, which is like twice as bad as sugar.
Okay, I'm
It's
sorry,
like-
but like my stupidity of a brain when you started saying maltodextrin, I thought you were gonna say the third ingredient is mulch, and I was just like, why would they put mulch in an egg white?
Mm.
No, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised about that either. But it's so funny because everybody tries to duplicate them, but they don't ever come out the same. And it's because you would never put that stuff in
Yeah.
your food at home.
It's like corn syrup solids, not
Yeah,
really, but
yeah.
I mean, they basically put all this
It's
in it.
just crazy.
Nice.
Sorry, all this stuff.
Keep you going back for more.
Yeah.
Stop it. Why did I used to eat 2 egg bites? Like I'd have 2 orders. So I would have 4.
You
so
want me
I'd
to tell
have
you why?
like 40 carbohydrates.
Wow,
You-
so you're out of ketosis with 4 egg bites.
Oh,
Yes.
stop. You'd be out with 2 if you were me.
4 bites. All it takes is 1 bite, 1 egg bite. You know why? Wait. You know why?
Why?
Because you had food addiction. That's why.
Stop.
Okay,
We were addicted to food,
that's fine though.
but now we're not. Except the bananas on your shirt.
Yeah.
But don't call me okay, can I also tell you one more
One
thing?
second, I
Yes.
ate Jonathan's lunch, guys. Let me just come
Egg
clean.
bites.
Okay, but I
Egg
have
bites.
one more thing I'm really
Okay.
excited.
Yeah.
So there was this video that was viral on TikTok of this girl filling up this papaya with jelly, like
That's a
coconut
fruit, right?
coconut jelly.
I've never had papaya
So
before.
she took but we're not doing this because it's not keto. So
Sounds like a lot of shugs.
what she did was she put coconut cream and gelatin, and then she put it inside the papaya and she froze it for 12 hours and then cut it, and it was like papaya and this jelly, this coconut cream jelly. Stop. So I made the coconut cream jelly. It is in the fridge. It's coconut milk, allulose, and gelatin, and we could probably have them when we're done with this.
That sounds delicious.
Woo!
It's something to look forward to.
That sounds delicious.
I'm gonna put in if we end up filming it, I'm gonna put in a little clip of us eating it right now.
I could literally bring them up
So
here. I'm hoping it will be done by then.
What's happening right now is you are, as the viewer, you are experiencing both the present and the future at the same time. On screen right now is a clip of us doing something in the future and talking about it in the present, which to you is the past.
That's right.
Time
Yum.
is a sphere.
It is.
Okay.
Time is, this episode is brought to you by
Time.
gelatin.
So what I want to know, sorry to interrupt, but what I want to know from our viewers, because we have no other way of finding this out, so keep that in mind, viewers. We don't have another way of knowing this. Do you guys want us to get straight into the podcast from now on, or do you guys want the first 10 minutes of banter, and we just banter a little bit and then get started? And it'll drive Tiffany insane. She will lose her mind.
I'm sitting here thinking
Eyeballs
about how many-
popping out of your head.
How many things I have to do today?
I know. But we don't know because unless you tell us. So comment down below, do you want the banter? Do you not want to do the banter? Because we have no way of knowing if we should just BS around for 10 minutes before we get into our topics.
We could also send them letters in the mail and get a survey back over about 2 weeks.
Banter part's over, Jonathan.
Banter done.
So we have some topics.
That's the other way. Okay, what's the topics?
we have some, we have some topics for today, guys. This last week, I think by the time this airs, this is more like a month ago for you watchers and listeners.
Yeah.
But this last week, Tiffany made a new recipe book.
It's not really a recipe book. I would say that it's a meal plan on a budget, first of all.
Okay.
Okay, definitions.
It's a meal plan. It's a meal plan on a budget.
Meal
So
plan
we're
on a budget. And I'm going to tell you my inspiration.
Well, we're gonna get into your inspiration because we're gonna go over all the things that we're
No,
gonna
I
talk
just
about.
I just want to say my inspiration.
Okay. Never
Is it
mind.
me?
We're going right into it.
My
Is it me?
inspiration is listening to so many people who are struggling financially right now, and they want to be able to get their health back, and they're not doing so well, sort of like emotionally and physically. And so I wanted to be able to find some way that I could get them their starting point. And so I took like 18 trips to the grocery store to try to find the cheapest possible way to have a week of meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it was $86 without condiments. I mean, that, like,
Nice.
you'll have like mustard and stuff like that, but like just your general grocery shop was $86. So I'm
Nice.
super, super happy about it.
Well, I have worked in finance for the last 8 years, and I can tell you right now, most people don't realize how much money they spend on food. The average person spends somewhere between $800 to $1,200 a month on themselves on food because of
Like an
Uber-
individual.
Yeah, because of
Wow.
Uber Eats, because of all your delivery services, eating out, because it adds up so much.
And Starbucks, your $6
Starbucks.
drinks, your
Mhm.
$6. Yeah.
So most of my clients would spend somewhere around $1,200 a month on food.
And then
Yeah.
that's mixed with being like addicted to sugar, so you're always having to eat all day.
I know, it's just
Yeah.
nonstop.
So I just
spending
told when you're saying $86 a month, I would tell everybody they have a $120 budget a week.
money. No, 86 a week.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I mean a week. That's you got it lower than I did.
So this is for someone to get 3 meals a day. That's
Yeah,
not even
you
if
don't
they're
need
doing
to
2
do.
meals.
Yeah, because I do 2 meals a day for the most part. So
There's
skipping out-
21 meals
yeah.
a year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty
Yeah,
insane.
I'm really proud of what I did. And there is like big portions of stuff. So for sure another person could just jump in and eat part of those meals too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as another note for our viewers, this episode's going to be there's going to be some ads, but it's going to be less ad heavy because most of what we're talking about today is basically an ad. So if you want to pick up this thing, which we're going to talk about more now, the link is in the description below. But we're just talking about it. We're talking about the experience. From my understanding, it took you 6.5 years to write this.
Write this book? I mean, it took a week.
Insert the cricket sound.
Kick.
Wait, what?
It took you. I mean, this is you. I think journeyed to what, like 27 different countries, 6 years of work.
She's
What
never
is
left the
happening
States.
in this conversation right now? I have no idea what's happening.
She went to the farm in the
Yeah. She was in Southeast Asia
Exactly.
with a medicine man.
She went to Antarctica and found the best ice you could find. No coughing
Link
on the
down-
podcast.
Link down below for the Antarctica ice.
Yep. So, anyways, I think what you're trying to ask is that this is basically the result of about 6.5 years of Tiffany being in the weight loss thing.
No, I was just making a joke, but actually that is a good point. You've been in the weight loss thing for about 6.5 years.
I made sense of it. I was like, this doesn't make sense, but this is how
May
it makes
2016,
sense.
so 6 years exactly.
6 years.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like I can confidently say I have it figured out because beforehand I was just kind of going all over the place back and forth, and I would do a lot of like super strict and then live my best food life and like super strict and then live my best food life. Whereas like now I have my lifestyle that I stick to every day. And so I know exactly what I can and can't eat. And so sometimes I want to tighten up my eating window, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's definitely good. I am really happy with where I'm at.
Yeah.
With my relationship with food. Yeah.
Yeah, and your husband.
Nice. Well, I also feel like I've talked too much. Comment below if I've talked too much during this thing. So I'm gonna hand the mics over to you guys. I have some stuff I have to monitor.
I'm going to make the comments. Parker, you talk too much. Okay, unscrew that mic. Throw it in the trash. We'll buy a new one. Oh, my God. Okay, Parker, you're going to have to hold that, though. Here, I'll go over here. Welcome to our podcast. This is, I'm Parker, and nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Parker. How's it going? Really good. I'm on a weight loss journey.
So off the rails today.
Let me get back on the rails. Okay, that was a break. That was brought to you by snack packs that you can get. You can get snack packs.
So far, I think we have about 45 seconds of content in this 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, it's 17 minutes long, and I do believe I'm keeping most.
Okay, so then what's the subject for the day? We said, we have things, but what is the actual subject?
Sorry, so we're talking about we are all over the place today.
Yeah.
Let me just talk.
Okay.
Okay, so part of the thing that a lot of people have issues with is that they go to the grocery store and they go through all the aisles and then they're kind of like grabbing what they think is healthy, grabbing what they think is good, but they're kind of confused because they don't really know and they like this, but they don't like that. And then they're throwing out all their produce at the end and it all went bad anyways. And then they end up eating out because they didn't want to eat what they already made. So it's like this whole sort of roller coaster that I know most people go through. And so what's really cool about this is that I made such a tiny list of things that you need to get from the grocery store. And I found a way to sort of incorporate them all into each other. So you don't have to get a lot of things and then you end up utilizing nearly everything so that there's nothing left over at the end of the week except for like your olive oil and your mustard. I mean, pretty much that's it.
Yeah, these are original recipes too, right?
Yeah,
You just made this up.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Made it all up as I went. I cooked it all in 48 hours. Cooked it all, prepared it all, changed it. Too salty, not salty enough, blah, blah, blah. Kitchen is actually still stocked up with dishes to the ceiling. Whoops, we'll get to that in a minute. But I was definitely proud of it, and then also seeing people immediately jump into it.
Yeah.
Because it was so easy and they were just like, I'm going to the grocery store right now. I mean, you can add everything to your grocery cart online because it's at Aldi. So you can go to Aldi, add everything to the cart, go pick it up. And then if you wanted to do that same thing, you like the recipes enough to do it the next week again, you would just re-add those same items to your cart again. Obviously take out like the olive oil and stuff. But yeah.
See, that's crazy. And
Yeah,
eventually we'll have like two of them and then
Yeah.
they can just go boop and then
Yeah.
the next week boop and then the next week boop.
Make it so
I know.
simple.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing about the way that I do keto too. It's just a revolving 20 ingredients over and over and over and over and over and combining them different ways to make so many different recipes.
Yeah.
So really your grocery list is so short and not very complicated.
Yeah.
What was really cool too is how many amazing things I found at Aldi that were clean keto friendly. Like I like their stevia. It's like $3.
Yeah. That doesn't have
Nice
sugar
stevia,
like
yeah.
like stevia in the raw. Not brought to you by stevia in the raw.
Yeah, because their first ingredient is cane sugar. Bam.
Cane sugar.
Craziness. So
you put a
anyway,
lot of work into this thing.
I did. I put my entire life on hold for 48 hours to do this.
Yeah. I didn't even know where she was. I was like,
Well-
where are you right now?
Well, we have a link to the book down below. I'm going to say that throughout this, but I will also say executive decision right now. One of our commenters in this video will get a free copy of this recipe book.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Let's do it.
Yep. So comment down below. Literally comment anything,
A heart.
Comment.
Yeah.
Smiley face.
Comment a heart. Comment a smiley face.
A devil emoji.
Not a poop
Comment
one.
one of the
Don't do a
cat-
poop emoji.
Do a poop one.
Yeah. Do
Okay,
a poop. Do a cat smiley face.
Cat smiley face poop. 3 poops.
Yeah. 3 poops. Comment down below. I'm gonna also make this segment into a short. You'll have 2 chances to win. Comment down below for a free copy of your new recipe book. Really, it's 21 recipes is really what it is. And
Meal plan.
Meal plan.
Meal plan.
Meal
It
plan.
tells you what to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So comment down below. You'll get a free copy.
So this is the thing is that people will have more time with their family. They'll be able to save more money. They'll be able to have more time with their kid. Like the thing is that this like helps people create time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
a lot of
truthfully,
people are short on time and people are short on money.
yes. And truthfully, they could make it all in one day and like maybe 2.5 hours and have
All
their
the
food-
meals.
Yeah. And have it set up for the week.
On average, how long does it take you to make one of the recipes?
I couldn't tell you because I had to make them and write them and remake them and go get the groceries and blah, blah, blah. So it was all like a 2-day period of
Yeah.
that.
But if you could just like your first guess, like it took me about
I would say it would be 2.5 hours from start to finish to make everything in there.
wow.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
For the week.
Yeah. Well, so this is the thing I thought about. So there's 2 things. So you were talking about going in the grocery store. This is
Mhm.
one of the problems. And the thing is that you told me like a couple years ago is that grocery stores are set up to where all like the healthy stuff is on the very outside of the store.
Mm-hmm.
And then to get to that, you have to go down all the aisles of like sweets and chips and carbs. And then you go up to the thing and it's like, oh, there's candy and Coca-Cola's right at the front when you're checking out.
Yeah.
So talk about that a little bit, because this was also, I think, kind of a part of this is like so many people spend like, you used to spend about 3 hours in the grocery store just going down the aisles.
Trying to find new things. And then, it was always just kind of a guessing game of like, okay, well, they have this new gluten-free this new gluten-free that, blah, blah, blah. And now it's Whole Foods pretty much only. Whole Foods meaning the term, not the store.
Yeah.
And that takes away about 95% of what's in the grocery store. And so when you go in and you're getting something that's one ingredient, you've narrowed down your shopping ability of like what's available there for you to make shopping so much easier and less overwhelming. What's overwhelming is the amount of choices. I mean, why is there 75 different brands of oatmeal? It's oats. Like, that's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And people have so many choices. But when you take those choices out and you're like, those foods don't work for my body, these are what work for my body, one ingredient items, you walk on the outer aisles of the store and you just get the things that you need and you leave, and you don't play this game of going in and out and getting all these processed food that makes you feel inflamed and tired and addicted to food and all that. So
the other thing that I've learned is now I actually have a filter. Like, I didn't have a food filter. Like, my biggest kryptonite used to be Wingstop. I would go to Wingstop once a week. I would get like 5 chicken strips. Oh my God. And then my stomach would be bloated for days. That was when I was about 195, almost 200 pounds. I was doing this once or twice a week and I couldn't stop. But now it's like, okay, if I don't understand the ingredients on here, I just put it down. So like, actually when I learned this, about 99 of the stuff disappeared. I was somewhere yesterday and I realized that the only thing I can have at this place is peanuts, and they had about 30 options of stuff. And I was like, okay, peanuts. It has peanut oil, and I was like, I don't know if I should have peanut oil. I haven't had nuts in months. And so I've gained this filter now, to where like, I can just filter out everything that's noise. And now all I know is, okay, meat, and how much fat is in the meat, and then okay, all this ingredients that are in these other products just instantly cancel out. And
I think that's what it comes down to for people too, who are like, oh my gosh, this is so overwhelming. How do I find ingredients that I know are good or bad? And what it really comes down to is, man, if you don't recognize it, don't get it. I mean, it's really simple. Like, if it's not like your pork should be pork, your cream should be cream.
Yeah.
And so when you see all these other additives, no, if you don't recognize it, it's like if there's a berry in the wilderness and you don't know if it's poisonous or not, you don't just take the chance, just leave it.
The other thing that we used to struggle with is I used to buy you like a pile of cookbooks. And I remember this was a conversation we had probably like a year and a half, 2 years ago, where we were trying to make these recipes, but these cookbooks are like, you have to be a master chef.
Yeah.
And you need to have about 20 different seasonings.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that when you're doing clean keto, most people can't handle like the onion powder or the garlic powder. It messes up their digestion, this kind of stuff.
So I left that all out of the book, and that's why I said they could add it if they wanted to add seasonings. I don't tolerate seasonings well.
Yeah, me neither. Onion powder makes me like burp and vomit for the next 2 hours.
Graphic, but yes, a lot of people.
Burp and vomit?
Burp and vomit, literally projectile vomit. No, it's an exaggeration. It's just
my husband's a little dramatic. Please excuse him.
I learned it from Tiffany, who is the best. She's the queen of drama.
Yeah, but so that's why I left all that out. And if people want, a lot of times it's so funny, the trolls on TikTok, they're always like, you didn't season that food enough. And I'm like, once you really learn about seasonings, you wouldn't do that either, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it just it does. It's upsetting to the stomach, to the digestive tract. And when people are inflamed all the time, they don't notice, right? Because they're feeling like crap 24/7. But when you eliminate it and then you add it back in again and you're like, whoa, that causes this reaction. So I left all the seasonings out. Like, you can add them if you want. Salt and pepper is what works for me, and I know there's some controversy even on pepper causing digestive distress, but for me, I do fine with it, and so salt and pepper it is.
Okay.
And butter and cream cheese. Noms.
Butter. Butter.
Every time I give Finney a bite of anything, he sees he goes like this.
His facial reaction. It's always like,
yeah, he goes like this. Like yesterday, he got some keto ice cream, and he was like, I got a popsicle earlier, and he was like, Nom.
Yeah. He has 3 words. It's mama, dada, gog for dog, and then he has nam. And nam means about 3 different things. He'll say nam, and it just means delicious. And then he'll say nam, and then it means
That
give me
more.
more now. And then it
He
means
goes-
like one
And
other
he goes,
thing.
No,
Or,
that's good.
nam.
We're
Nam.
just content.
Numb. Yep, I'm just happy. Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 different emotions packed in one word. It's pretty
Anyways,
great.
He loves food.
Yeah,
What
we
can you
didn't
say?
teach him nom. He brought it up himself.
But here's my favorite.
Yeah. So, anyways, the books thing is like a big deal because people can spend a lot of time trying to find out recipes and like all this kind of stuff, and then it takes you 3 hours. And if people are short on time and if people are short on money, then most of the cookbooks available are like outside of what people can actually use. And most people I don't find are willing to like actually learn to cook. You know?
No, and when you have like these recipe books and you go get everything, it's like $75 for a recipe. I mean, you're going to go get the meat, the basil, the parsley, the thing, blah, blah, blah. And you at the grocery store, you're like, $85 for one meal. God, I should have just went out for that.
Yeah. Did you do that? You used to find recipes and then you would have to
Go to the store and I'd get it and I'd be like, I literally could have gone out for that.
And then you would spend time cooking like 2 or 3 hours.
And
Probably.
that.
Yeah.
Here's a great example. You're going to make tacos, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to get, and this is for people who are not, I'm talking about my non-keto days. So you're going to go and you're going to get the shells, the tomatoes, the onions, the cilantro, the sour cream, the meat, the lettuce, the lime. Like you're getting everything, right? And at the end of it, you're
So
like,
much time.
$90. Yeah, and then you're going to go home. You're going to slice up all the vegetables. You're going to brown the meat. You have to make the seasoning most of the time because it's maltodextrin when you get the packet. So now you're mixing all these seasonings together. Oh, you have to buy all the ingredients for all the seasonings, the chili powder, the cumin, the pepper, blah, whatever, right? And you're like, dude, I could have just freaking gone to Taco Bell for 99 cents.
And then people are doing this 3 to 6 times a day. Like they're making it and then
Ain't
they're
nobody got
making
time for that.
No, I
Ain't
mean
nobody got time for that.
I'm kind of like spoiled now because, you know, I don't do dinner and I don't do breakfast. But if it takes me longer than 15 minutes to cook some meat for lunch, I'll skip lunch too. I'm just like, I'm not eating today. It's too much time. Like I'm so used now not spending time cleaning up and cooking. And so I'm personally annoyed with it because I'm like, oh, well, I have to do this 1 hour where I eat, I take my vitamins, and I know it always takes about an hour, and then I need to clean up afterwards. So if I'm doing anything more than meat and eggs, I just like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll like, okay, it's 4:00. I haven't done anything today. Hopefully Tiffany's making something. That's what it comes down to. And, yeah. So anyways, that is also the other thing is that me and you kind of have it's not a silent agreement. It used to be just a straight up agreement where you would cook and then I would clean up everything afterwards. And
Except for after I made this recipe book, when he saw 312 dishes, he said, "That's okay."
That's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call 911.
Somebody come get these dishes.
Officer.
Here's dispatch.
Officer. We have an
How
emergency.
can we help you?
Officer.
My wife has made every single dish in our entire kitchen dirty. What do I do?
Oh no!
Help.
Oh no!
Help.
Oh God! We have a class
I
5.
think I'm about to have a heart attack.
Don't worry! Don't worry, son. We're gonna send somebody over.
Metaphorically. Okay, thank you. Thank you, officer. Officer, can you clean our dishes for us, please?
Okay, I want to tell you guys something crazy.
Okay, what is this?
So I was making these TikToks the other day. And I was talking to people about insulin resistance, and I was also reading this book because I'm obsessed with everything insulin resistance and glucose.
Well, it says like glucose revolution.
Yeah, glucose revolution. She's big on Instagram.
Okay.
So the other day, I got into like pre-diabetes, right? Because the reason why so many people who have blood sugar issues do keto is because it stabilizes your blood sugar by not spiking it with the carbohydrates. But listen to this.
Listening. Well,
Listen
sometimes.
to this.
Okay, listening.
This is the stuff that gets me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Children born today have a 1 in 2 chance of developing cancer in their lifetime. And poor diet together with smoking is the main driver in 50% of cancers. This literally blew my mind. 1 in 2. I just couldn't even believe it. Depressive episodes, heart disease, gut issues. The blood sugar is everything. And I'm so upset that I never even knew about blood sugar. I always thought it was for diabetics, but it's one of the most important things that you can measure in your body, if not the most.
You know what's funny is that I was talking to Trevor yesterday, kind of about this.
Yeah.
Trevor's a buddy of mine. You guys don't know him, but I told him about the guy who does the blood sugar thing, and he eats foods and shows what they did to his
Blood Sugar King.
Yeah.
I told him about that, and then I saw him, and he was just like, "Oh, what are you doing? You're making some keto thing? I want that." And I'm like, "He never eats what I make, right? Like,
What does he eat?
He normally eats just like, Five Guys and Chipotle. Like, he's one of the
Seven
people
Guys.
who spends a lot of money on
Yeah.
on eating out, just whatever he's in the mood for." And he was like, "No, what you had said about the guy, the Blood Sugar King, really got to me. And I've always thought with like diet is like I need to lose weight, and he's one of those people who can eat anything and he'll always be skinny."
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I never really thought with health, which is bad because he has heart attacks like going back like 5 generations in his family.
That's crazy.
Like not like some problems, like they all had heart attacks.
Yeah.
So he's got to start now. But he's like, but now after that was the first time I ever thought of diet as like health. I think a lot of people don't think with diet as health. They think with it as losing weight.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I mean, the fitness and health industry are kind of like merged, where most of the fitness people, they're like, yeah, you just have to have 300 calories a day. And, with this, you can lose weight. Well, first of all, a lot of people can't lose weight with that. Second of all, it's really not good. Like I can have like 2,500 calories a day and still be losing weight, And so
There were some people who said they were eating 3,000 calories a day. They weren't even fat. They were just normal weight people. And being carnivore, they could do 3,000 calories a day to maintain their weight. And I'm like, that's literally defied everything that's been shoved down people's throats.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You shouldn't be able
My
to
one
do
meal
that.
a day is probably, except for just now, my one meal a day is probably typically somewhere in that 2,500 to 3,000 calorie range. And that's one meal.
Yeah.
Because I'll order, like I go to the restaurant, if I go to a restaurant, which is so rare nowadays, but if I go to a restaurant, I order like 2 or 3 meals. And it's always like this little guy.
This whole thing.
This
This
little
little
thing.
thing.
You're not going to eat
When-
all that.
When talking about it not just being for weight loss, but like just health, she was talking about when we toast bread, we make it brown. Our insides are browning just like this. So the process of aging, right? It's normal. It's an inevitable part of life. It's why we age, why our organs slowly deteriorate, and why we eventually die. We can't stop the process, but we can slow it down or speed it up. And so what we're doing with an unhealthy diet is we're speeding up the process at which our body browns or
Deteriorates.
toasts
Right.
or deteriorates. Anyways, the part that I wanted to go over in here, which I actually can't find it, but I posted on my TikTok, was about how these people are all being sent home from their doctors with fasting glucose of like 115 and being told that they're fine. But from 100 to 125 is considered pre-diabetic. After 125, you are diabetic.
That's fasting glucose. That's like
Fasting
after
glucose.
8 hours of not eating.
Of not eating, and these people are being sent home told they're fine because they're going into the doctor going like, listen, we don't feel good, like this is what we're
Yeah.
experiencing, we're exhausted, everything just seems off. They're getting their blood work back and the doctor's calling it normal. And when they're telling me, they're like, it's 110. Is that normal? Of course. Why are they asking me? I'm just some girl on freaking Instagram. I don't have a degree in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're coming to me because their doctor, who they're paying for, who went to school for this, is telling them they're fine and they know they're not fine, right?
Well, I think with a doctor, it's literally just pre-diabetic, diabetic, and that's it.
But they're telling them they're normal when they are pre-diabetic. And
Oh,
then
wow.
some doctors are going, well, there's no such thing as pre-diabetes. You're either diabetic or you're not.
That's
but
right.
like, no, this is your body's warning sign. If you have 110
That
fasting
makes
glucose.
no sense.
Yeah.
It's like saying there's no such thing as like you're about to get into a car crash. You have either gotten into a car crash or not.
Yeah.
It's so
Like
crazy.
you're either driving 80 towards the wall or you're not.
Yeah.
As a
It's
note-
so crazy. Honestly, I can say I didn't know it was that bad right now. Like that's what we're dealing with in the medical community. I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah. I mean, who taught us this? So the point about this is that, yes, we're not doctors. And
we're
yes,
advocates for our
we're
bodies.
self-advocates for our bodies, but we follow about 3 or 4 doctors who have like done like
Say 10
thousands
10 to
and
15.
10 or 15. I just know about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So Tiffany knows about 10 or 15, like thousands and thousands and thousands of
this is an
studies.
example. I mean, there's 2 doctors here, Dr. Eric Berg and then Dr. Paul Saladino, They're both doctors who are in this industry, but then there's also Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Jason Fung, Ben Stickman, I think his name is, and then Sten Ekberg.
Yeah.
There's so many more than those are the basic ones that I follow. Oh, James something. He's the author of The Salt Fix. There's so many doctors who are like, guess what, dude? It's all wrong. Everything that you're being taught, it's all wrong. All this common sense, wrong. Calorie deficit thing, wrong. Weight loss is a hormonal thing, not a calories thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. I can't even believe it.
Yeah. Until someone decides that they are the CEO of their own life and that no one else is the CEO of their own life, there's really you really don't have a chance because you have 1,000 voices providing you 1,000 different pieces of information. So until you decide that you're the CEO of your life, you're just going to keep going down this hamster wheel.
Amen.
Amen.
I'm going to say two things right now.
Okay.
We talk about this, and there's not a lot of people out there that talk about this, that push this, that advocate for this, So I think it's really important. Everybody, subscribe. Subscribe to the videos. We're not going to stop talking about this, no matter how many trolley comments we get, no matter how much we get trolled on TikTok and on Instagram. Subscribe. Make sure to follow us on TikTok. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. Hit that notification bell because we're going to keep doing it, right? And we're going to make sure that we kind of get everybody educated on exactly what the scene is.
Make America healthy again.
Oh my gosh. I was thinking about some sort of phrase like that. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So make sure to do that. And then the other thing is that something that always bothered me is I don't want a doctor that practices medicine. And I know this is a bit of a joke right now, but it kind of applies to what you say. Like, I would prefer that my doctor got it and didn't practice, right? Like, I'm still learning, I'm practicing, and practice makes perfect. I want a perfected doctor. I don't want a doctor that practices. I get it. It's a different definition.
Can we request that?
Can we make a request?
Yeah, just, welcome to my practice. I'm okay. I'd actually prefer if you knew what you were doing.
Well, imagine a doctor who goes through college, has now $400,000 of debt, and then he says, okay, all you have to do is take this $15 ebook. He wouldn't ever get out of debt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and I think, how do you find a doctor that's going to give you the advice that you need or is going to take you where you want to go? Here's what I look for. I want to know that you've helped hundreds of thousands of people. Mm-hmm. I want to know what your statistic is. How many people do you have under your belt that you've cured, not medicated, right? And I think this is why I love Dr. Berg so much, is because you can go into his comment section on any video and see 250,000 people who did what he said to do. Mm-hmm. I am one of them. I am a product of his advice. Yeah. And go, it worked for all these other people, right? And it's not fake YouTube comments. These are real people and they have seen the success, right? Mm-hmm. Then you go to Ken Berry, same thing, right? You see these people who are like, you have to have all this fiber, blah, blah, blah. And then you have this doctor who makes a video and goes, yeah, actually you don't have to have fiber. And then you see all these comments where like, yeah, I stopped eating fiber X amount of months ago and I've never had a bathroom any constipation or whatever, any bowel issues since then, right? Yeah. And so like where it all comes down to is social proof and being able to see that the product of these doctors and the advice that they're giving. I think that's what matters and that's what to look for more than anything else. And that's what I've done. And that's how I've been able to come across these doctors and be able to find a solution to everything and not just a doctor who's just like this medication, this advertisement. It's just like, no, here's the information.
Yeah, we live in a pill society. Yeah. Where it's this pill is going to help you lose weight and this pill is going to solve your depression and this pill is going to make you feel less anxiety and well really you're just going to feel less.
And the side effects, can we talk about the side effects on this?
Yeah, side effects include suicidal thoughts. Side effects include low gas mileage.
You go to the doctor for depression and they give you medication with suicidal thoughts as a side effect.
Yeah, so the consequences, is like you're trying to solve this one symptom, but now you have a potential of 20,000 different symptoms. And really on the commercial, they're like, brought to you by, and they can speed it up so fast and they can make it so quiet so that you can't even hear what the actual.
And I've always wondered, does anybody actually see those commercials and then go, yes, I need that? I'm like, there's no way anybody's ever seen that commercial. This has to be just on TV for like subliminal
I
messaging.
think the vast majority of anything that advertises a medication in general, any type of medication, almost always, I can look up on my computer what the statistics on this are, but I'm pretty sure that the side effects portion of the commercial are always longer than the actual advertisement.
Yeah. And what really bothers me and when celebrities are endorsing it, I'm like, come on, bro. Like Khloe Kardashian did one recently. I was like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
You've been advertising medication a lot lately. It kind of looks like you be sleeping in bed with the.
Yikes.
I know.
Not good. No, I mean, and then the pharmaceutical companies, like a part of their job is like they'll have sales reps and they go to the doctors and they're like, hey, you need to you need to start promoting this thing. And then the doctors, I believe, make some sort of commission or something like that by selling these.
They're not allowed to get commission as far as I know, but they are allowed to receive $450,000 Rolexes.
Ooh, burn, baby, burn. Yeah.
Well, what Chris always said about that was it was less about commissions and things like that, and more about it's essentially that as a doctor, what you learn is people have these conditions, and then you're told that this medicine is what is for those conditions. So you see this condition, subscribe this medicine.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the video. Prescribe this medicine. Prescribe. And so that's more, I think, what it's about. It's just the fact that, and you don't know, most doctors didn't read the trials, didn't read all the things, they kind of have an idea of what the side effects are, but they are just told people with this condition will take this medicine. That's what you're told by the pharmaceutical, the pharmacy, the big pharma that supplied it to you. And that's all you know, really. Medicine is, if the person has this condition, give them this thing. It is not, oh, well, like Kendra with her Crohn's disease, which might have not even been Crohn's, turns out. But Kendra with her Crohn's disease was...
There's a whole section of that on these books, how it's related to overconsumption of carbohydrates.
Yeah, well, she goes, well, I feel like I shouldn't have gluten. And they're like, I don't know about any of that. And I'm like, dude, there's so many studies about that being harmful and everything like that. But no, to them, they're just like, listen, if you're not on Remicade or whatever it is, like this like very harsh bodily destroying drug, you're wrong. Yeah. But what about diet? Can I like stuff myself with Skittles? Oh, I have no opinion about that whatsoever.
We have Skittles downstairs if you want them.
Yeah, so anyway, that was the weirdest experience to me when we were seeing her gastroenterologists.
I think one of the big things is that you're not looking for a doctor. You're not looking for a scientist. You're looking for a practicing doctor who is also a scientist. Meaning, that's why I like Dr. Berg so much, is because he was like, test. When I do this, what happens to the liver? When I do this, what happens to the liver? And he really, he furthered... he pushed like keto into a point to where it's like actually usable and something that is like predictable and we can get very specific results with it. He was a doctor, he got his doctorate, and then he was also a scientist. He did tests and research, and above being a doctor, he did tons of research. I'm just like the thing I wanted to always ask him was, how did you do, like, where did you find this research? How did you even interpret this research? And
he reads a lot. He talks about the books that he reads.
Yeah. And
research
so
and
that's the thing, is that a lot of doctors aren't scientists. A lot of scientists aren't doctors. And so if you're only looking at a scientist or only looking at a doctor, it's really, you have to be both to have like a trustworthy base of like information.
Yeah.
And that's why like when we got into this, is very inspiring, because we found Dr. Berg, who was someone who was a trained doctor and basically a scientist. He did, cause and effect, like fix. He's fixed so many bodies, and so many of the things he told us, like when we learned, it was like, there's no way that's going to work.
Yeah.
Zero way that's going to work.
Crazy. It was like overly simple.
Yeah. And even now, sometimes I'll talk about it with someone and they're like, dude, that sounds crazy.
Yeah. Because it's oversimplified. I mean, it's like,
yeah,
hey, the reason why you have all this chronic inflammation and pain and gut distress and everything else is because you're putting things in your body that your body doesn't like. And they're like, No,
No,
that
don't
can't
think so. No, I need a pill.
Oh no, it's the fact that you're drinking these diet drinks and these aspartame and this sulfol
Well,
potassium.
okay, so this is sort of related, but just to like give you a thing I've experienced, which granted is anecdotal, not factual. But this was a pretty messed up thing that happened. So Kendra, obviously my wife, she had that foot of intestines removed, right? Essentially from her colon to, and then that foot leading to the small intestines. It was oatmeal. It was just gone. It was nothing. It was literal mush. Like if you, the surgeon was like, normally you have to like slice because it's bad. Hers was literally oatmeal. I scooped it out. So what that meant was that she had these things called fistulas, which are essentially little holes that lead from outside of the intestines where your business will gather and create holes and start gathering in places, and your body will try to contain it and abscess
Like leaky
off.
gut and that sort of thing.
So your poop is just leaking elsewhere into your body. So she had to get that removed, right? So he goes in there. He scoops out all the bad stuff. He makes a small, I think it was 1/4-inch incision, and the rest of her, he runs her bowel. What that means is he takes out all of her intestines and he runs his fingers and observes every single inch of them. That's what running the bowel means. He's explaining this whole thing to me right after the surgery. And so he runs her bowel and he goes, every inch of the remaining intestine was healthy. Small, large. I've never seen anything like that. Normally with Crohn's disease, if you're going to remove a foot of intestines or 6 inches or whatever, you would see other pieces that have small signs of infection. I've never heard of nor seen a piece of intestine other that didn't have that thing if I'm removing something. So where I removed is right where her appendix was. My guess is that she doesn't have Crohn's. She's been misdiagnosed for the last 20 years, and that her appendix had burst. Her body abscessed off the burst appendix. She got some sort of infection or it burst, and then it spread and turned the rest of that foot of intestines into oatmeal. And so now she's healthy. So I know that the gastroenterologists, the GIs as they call them, are going to want to treat her. That's totally up to you. You can get on the treatments, blah, blah, blah. I'm letting you know that body is healthy.
Jeez.
There is nothing wrong with that body. I ran the bowel. They didn't go in and look. I did. Her intestines were on my thumbs. I looked at every inch, every single square inch of her intestines. The remainder is healthy. She gets out of surgery. I tell her that. Surgeon tells her that. GIs come in. She's still like barely awake, right? She just was under for hours, And she goes, well, the surgeon said I was healthy and blah, blah, blah. And then basically the GI's like, listen, if you don't get on this medication, you're going to die. That's just an idiot move, okay? You're going to die. So it's just not okay. You get on this medication. She goes, but I'm healthy. That's what the surgeon said, right? The surgeon who saw, and they're like, he doesn't know what he's talking about, okay? Is he a gastro? And it just disillusioned me of this whole thing. Because I was like, if maybe you were understanding or if you could make an argument, but I was just told by a person who physically saw the intestines, right? Didn't have to look at a scan or anything, saw the intestines and said, there's no Crohn's in that intestine. If you treat the body, you're treating a body for Crohn's that doesn't have Crohn's, right? That's what he had said. And they're like, you're treating this body. And I'm like, well, we don't even know if it's Crohn's. Some guy diagnosed Crohn's based off of a total arbitrary back when I was 8. Back when he didn't even know. He just said signs and symptoms are probably Crohn's. There's no biopsy. There's no nothing. And you still want to treat this body. Why? Because I guess you make money by selling the Remicade. It was just such a crappy experience.
So what did she end up doing?
She got off the Remicade. She's doing great. She hasn't had a single thing happen since then. She eats keto. Even when she wasn't eating keto, wouldn't eat anything inflammatory, no gluten, no nothing, nothing that could inflame the body. And she's doing awesome.
So
Wow,
Did
that's
she-
really unbelievable. But it's exactly the thing of this whole thing is like, well, this doctor told me this and this doctor told me this and I don't know what to believe and they're telling me I'm fine and I know that I'm not fine and I'm like, yikes. And this is where I'm like, yeah, it might be time to find another doctor because especially,
So we're just about out of time here,
Okay.
guys, which sucks because I really feel like we're really getting, this is one of our better videos, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But I do want to say some stuff.
Okay, Steph.
I want to let our viewers know some things.
Can I do a commercial break really quick?
You can. I mean, this whole episode's been a commercial.
Okay. So
But let's talk about these because honestly, this is delicious. Delicious.
have you not had that before?
I do the collagen coffee, the chocolate collagen coffee,
Okay.
because I need my face to be pretty.
Same.
yeah, me too.
Same.
Me 3, 17. So this episode is brought to you by Chocolate Greens. Have you ever had an issue where you were trying to be healthy, but then
Yes.
what happened
What had happened?
is you have a sweet tooth.
Oh my God, I have such a sweet tooth.
I know, it's terrible.
Yes.
And then
Which one of your teeth are sweet?
it's my left
For me,
top
it's this
top left one. It's my big
here.
tooth.
No, that ain't it.
That guy.
That one has
That
a
little SOB right there.
that has a cavity back there. I saw it just now.
Yep.
Let's go to the dentist. Yep. So if you have a sweet tooth, one of the big problems is that you need something to be able to substitute that sweet tooth, especially when you start keto.
So what you do, guys, I'm going to interrupt this ad, is you take heavy cream, you buy it at the store, you put it in your blender, you take a scoop of the chocolate greens, you put it in the blender, you set the blender on, and now you have this like whipped cream custard chocolate stuff.
Mousse.
That sounds
Chocolate
amazing.
mousse, and you dip your strawberries in it.
I just
know
make
what's better
I just
than
make a normal coffee with it. It's amazing,
Cream
and it makes me
cheese
less
with
hungry.
chocolate greens
Oh
makes
shoot!
chocolate cheesecake.
Ooh.
It's delicious. We haven't made a recipe with this actually. It's
You
just like
just
mix
mix
it up.
it. Just-
Yeah, but I want us to make like a.
I
got
got to imagine you could use it with egg to make a souffle.
Yeah, probably.
I would assume so.
I don't know how to cook, so my opinion is
I make
very
souffle.
You
irrelevant.
can mix it with hot water and some heavy cream for a hot cocoa.
Yeah.
You can make it. You substitute cocoa powder in baking dishes
Yes.
and the sweetener.
Yes.
So you can substitute 2 items. For
And
that.
even if you're not keto, we always say for keto, right? We always say for keto, but in truth, let's just try to get you healthier and not buying cocoa powder.
Yeah.
You know?
Wait, no, cocoa powder's fine.
Yeah.
There's
No, but when you buy the Nesquik,
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
no,
that's
nobody's
terrible.
buying
That's
that.
Nesquik.
Nobody's doing that.
Yeah, so chocolate greens, chocolate collagen, both delicious. They really help with the sweet tooth. You know, when we're doing keto and we're doing chocolate greens, I don't ever actually really need a dessert. And
No.
it holds my like fasting when like I'll do it instead of eating breakfast sometimes if I feel a little hungry. And it really holds me out for like a really long time. Like this
The-
is actually what I look forward to.
Me too. The heavy cream in my blood sugar.
I was really excited when I found
Stays
out this is
stable
what
whenever
we
I
were
have it.
drinking today.
Yeah, it's my favorite. I was actually a little bit upset the last episode because I wanted chocolate greens coffee so
But I had
bad.
to keep fasting.
Yeah,
So it was Parker's fault.
not this guy who ate my egg
Okay.
bites. What?
Link is in the description below.
Okay, buy now. Buy the chocolate greens. Start your keto journey. Amen.
Watch Fat Fiction on YouTube. Read the obesity quote code. Join the Facebook group. Get your mind, get your body right.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the video. I want to say something to our listeners. Here's the thing, guys. I want to make sure that you guys do like the video, that you do comment, that you do subscribe. And I know that a lot of creators say that. I know a lot of creators tell you do that. But here's the reason why, right? When you do that, when you like the video, when you subscribe, it tells YouTube, hey, make other people watch this. Push this out to other people, right?
Maybe they want to keep the information for themselves, Parker.
I just realized
I
that I,
know,
haven't even
but
liked it
that's-
myself.
That's
This is-
selfish.
I'm going to like it right now.
Oh, my God. Okay.
I would, but I'm using my
But
phone to film.
make sure your volume's off. I don't want the previous episode to play.
Yeah, it's.
So
it's,
you guys really do. If you like, if you comment, if you do both of those, YouTube does the interaction. It says, "Oh, other people need to know about this." And really, that's our goal, is just to get people to understand.
Sharing
to
is
be
caring.
healthy, right? So do that. Like the video if you liked it. Don't like the video if you didn't like it. Okay? If you didn't enjoy the video, don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Tiffany?
Yes, do that. You leave.
Sorry, the baby just started crying, so Jonathan's got to get out here.
I got my baby back.
I'll take Jonathan's seat.
Okay. Well, I'll wait for you. Welcome
Oh my
to
God, this
my
feels-
podcast. I'm so excited. Do you want to have a third chair?
This feels so weird.
Welcome.
I know I can't see my cameras. I don't know what anything looks
It's okay.
like. Okay.
Okay, so this is one thing I have to go over.
Story time.
Story time, because this is the book. It's called The Glucose Revolution. I got it at Barnes & Noble.
Okay.
This is going over for all of our, there's actually a word now. It's called the calorie zealots. It's for people who think that the only thing in the world that matters is calories and nothing else matters for your health.
Mm-hmm.
So she did this experiment with the glucose monitor. We were talking about glucose monitors. And she took 150 calories, can you see, of a donut and then 150 calories of yogurt.
Oh, wow.
And she shows you the glucose spike. I wish I could show you with my phone too. I could send a screenshot. But she shows you that this gigantic spike that comes from that amount of carbohydrates, sugar, and then the canola oil that it's cooked in, right? And then you come crashing back down. And when you come crashing back down, this is where you immediately feel like you're going to need a coffee. You need more sugar because your blood sugar is trying to come back up. So it's going to send a signal to your body
Wow.
to ask for more sugar on the way up, right?
So I'm not a doctor, but just help me out here.
Okay.
Stroke, heart attack, a lot of the stuff is high blood sugar creates other problems.
Yes.
High blood pressure,
Yes.
cholesterol, all
They're
sorts
connected.
of things.
It's called metabolic syndrome, where it's related to all those things: liver disease, heart attack, all.
Okay.
So then she shows you by having that same 150 calories of yogurt without all those carbohydrates, you barely have any spike, right? Now, here's the thing that people don't know. When you go up like this, in order for that number to come back down, your body sends out insulin. It's a hormone.
Mm-hmm.
It's your fat storage hormone.
Yep.
Every time you spike, you send out this hormone, right? If you do this all day, you're just storing fat all day long. So that's 150 calorie donut. This is for all those people who don't
Calorie
lose
count.
weight in a calorie deficit. It's
Yeah.
because you have turned on fat storage mode. So if you have a 150 calorie thing for breakfast, you have a 300 calorie thing at lunch, and a 500 calorie, you're like at what? 900 calories, whatever. Not many, right? But you're still going to gain fat storage.
Yeah.
Doesn't
You're
matter.
Spiking that blood sugar.
Spiking the blood sugar. And that is why this monitor matters so much, because this is in a healthy individual. She's healthy, right? But someone who's unhealthy is going to have an even worse spike than that. And then that is why this matters so much. And I was able to prove this point. And the reason why I've become so passionate about it is because I was mocked and humiliated for not losing weight, being in a calorie deficit. And so many people were accusing me of closet eating, binge eating, lying, calling out for attention, right?
Yeah.
Like trying to just get views. But I was like really struggling with my mental health, and I was so overweight, and my acne and everything else. I was like crying out for help, but instead I was being mocked and ridiculed, right? But like what it came down to was nobody wanted to tell me. And literally, I have videos with like millions. Do you want to know how many people brought up the insulin? 0. Nobody had ever brought up to me when I was like, please, somebody tell me what is wrong with my body. Why am I not losing weight in 1,200 calories, 1,500 calories? I'm like, obviously you're lying, right? But I wasn't. It was just that's what I was doing. I was having rice cakes for snacks, which is, I don't remember. One of these books shows the glucose spike from rice cakes.
Well, these things are so important. They really are. I can't stress that enough. I'm not even doing this like I know I control our ads and stuff. I'm not doing this from the perspective of our ad. I'm going to tell you a few anecdotal experiences I've had about these things in particular.
It's stylish, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah, it's a bit like one of those like 70s dystopian movies where it's like beep 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 and it's like your monitor is off. We're going to come for you. Like I don't know. Anyway, but the thing about them is that from a diet perspective, if you are dieting and you want to lose weight and things like that, for me, I've noticed if I'm staying within a range, right, I don't want to break that. When I notice my blood sugar staying within a range, it really hasn't moved. I don't want to go eat even like 2 chips that I know are gonna spike it, because I'm like, wow, look, for the last 3 weeks, it's been so stagnant, right? So that's something I've experienced. I told you about the Trevor thing. This is a guy whose family, going back 3 generations or 5 generations, all have universally had heart attacks. You know,
Genetics are not in his favor.
No. And this is a guy who eats burgers. This is a guy who eats all the bad foods that are going to clog your arteries up and blah, blah, blah. And when I showed him the Blood Sugar King, and I showed
Who's
him,
healthy.
yeah, I think he has this one video. It's either him or someone else, but I think it was him who has this one video of a burger that has no bun and a burger that has a bun, and the difference between them.
No, it wasn't him.
Oh, okay, then it must have been someone else. But I'm gonna give him credit because I really do like the Blood Sugar King. Because I don't know who the other guy is. I'm sorry, I'm not good at remembering people on TikTok. But when I showed him that and the difference in the spikes of a burger that had no bun and a burger that had a bun, that changed his whole worldview.
Yeah.
His whole worldview, right? And then lastly, I told this lady who is pregnant that she should get one of those, and she did, just an office buddy, and she did. And then I have never seen someone go and care so much about what they ate for the baby. They were just like,
because you can't do that.
You can't
Once
do that
you
to a
know,
baby.
you can't do it.
Yes, once you have
Yeah,
the proof.
it's one thing if you don't know and you have no idea and you're just like, I'm pregnant, I'm eating, and it's going to the baby and it's great and baby's just getting what it needs. But when you see that you're putting your baby in a toxic environment, then you're just like,
well, that's what this podcast is about. This podcast is about, we want to bring the truth about health to people. We want to educate them. And I know that we do ads for this little Veri blood sugar monitor before, and I'm sure that there are other ones out there.
The only reason I promote this company, and I want to say this with full transparency, is because I used 4 different companies for these. This is the cheapest one that there is. It is the only reason. And I told them, if there's a company that comes along and they're cheaper, I will immediately move to them as my affiliate company because I am looking for the cheapest product for the people who follow me.
Yeah. And the thing is that these work. You know, these are very important.
Make sure you put the patch over because the kids will pull them off or blah, blah, blah. So they come with patches. I took mine off because I put it on lopsided. But anyways, make sure you put the patch over when you get them. And you can get these prescribed from your doctor. If you have a super good doctor who's willing to help, they can get you one, especially if you tell them you're experiencing blood sugar issues. But
you do not need to get them prescribed. You can just order them.
Yes, you don't need a prescription. But if you're suspect of like blood sugar issues or whatever, which is like everyone, then you just bring it up and they should just be able to bypass and get you one.
Nothing will change the way you eat more than that,
Nothing.
in my opinion.
Nothing. You can't unsee it. This girl posted it in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
She had some chips and salsa from a Mexican restaurant. Her blood sugar went to 250 from
Jesus.
baseline. Baseline is 80.
Yeah.
90. Yeah, you shouldn't see more than like a 20-point spike, 20, 30 points. So it went from 80 to 250. And if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, I don't know what will.
I'm not going to do this now, but maybe in 3 months, 6 months, a year, after I'm finished losing my other 30 pounds, what I'll do is how long does it take normally for it to register in your blood sugar?
Oh, honestly, instantly sometimes. But you'll see the peak of it after about 90 minutes.
What I'll do is you guys will put in something you're curious about. Oh, this can't be that harmful, blah, blah, blah. I want to make sure my body's in like tip-top shape before we do this. Similar to the blood sugar. But I want to show people. I want to get that information out there. But you should absolutely follow Blood Sugar King. And Blood Sugar King, I know I said this last episode, you should come on. We'll have you do a remote.
He's in Florida. I just found out.
Oh, if he is in Florida, we can do it here.
This other account, that girl that I follow that I love, her name is Lily. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure. She DM'd me yesterday and asked me if I wanted to be on her YouTube channel. And I was like, we could do a duo.
We should absolutely do that.
I like her a lot.
Both of them. Let's do it. All right. Well, that's all we have time for today. I want you guys to remember, comment, subscribe, like the video, comment down below what you guys want to see in an episode, because we do listen to it. We did the ingredients episode purely based off of like a few people asking for it. Yeah. So comment below what you want to see. We're on YouTube and Spotify. I don't know how you comment on Spotify, but watch on Spotify. Go on to YouTube.
On Spotify and listen when you're in the car driving. Yeah. And when you're on a long walk or whatever.
All right. That's all we have time for.
Have a good day.
High five.
Bye.
Bye-bye.